But hey, once you find a car you like, might as well keep driving that car.
Right?
I just can't afford the luxury model.
luxury model.
Just start putting chalk prints on my ass.
Yeah, and then start grabbing your ass. What was your path to get into exercise science?
I started off pre-med for freshman and sophomore year. Yeah, for sure. Hit organic chemistry, and I was like,
That was yours.
I was like,
Mine was calc 2.
And so I was just getting bored in like basic sciences too. I'm like, this isn't a whole lot of depth that I feel like I'm ever going to use.
Yeah.
So then started looking around at other majors, learned that exercise science was an actual thing.
Yeah.
I was like, you can study that. Went into that, enjoyed it, kept going, and then I had no idea what I wanted to do after undergrad, so I was just like, I'll just
Grad
go with
school,
it.
yeah.
Ended up getting it for free, so I was like, just go.
Yeah.
And then still didn't know what I wanted to do afterwards. So applied to PT schools, applied to OT schools, got
did
into
you?
those, and then decided I want to go into that much debt.
Yeah.
And somehow you and I just met each other, clicked, and then it just started rolling.
You interned with football at UNL?
Just for a little stint.
Yeah.
Really, just like shadowing. So like you did an actual internship. I was basically.
Well, I shadowed at UK, like with football and women's soccer, but it was the same. Like basically, they allowed shadows, and you basically just cleaned and loaded weights and stood around. So it was so eye-opening to like the college athlete like lifestyle. Motherfuckers, I would walk in to like 6 a.m. training. I'd come in like 6 a.m. and there would be bags of McDonald's just lined up for the players to come eat if they wanted to. Right.
Fill that out.
Here's my homework.
So on the relationship side of things, in all relationships, do you think that the ones that are really significant are sparked right off the get-go?
I want to think that. I mean, I don't know. We've had this. I'm romantic at heart, so like rom-coms are my thing. And so like innately, I want that rom-com feeling. But I've also had those that didn't work. Saying, like theory-wise, saying that's more of a trauma response than it is a. But I don't know. I mean, it feels good though.
What's the trauma response to?
Your I guess hurt part reacting to that piece that it holds on. Like if you're.
What if it's purely visual? Like
No. Yeah. But there's still an energy to it. Like, cause you see, I mean, there's plenty of attractive women you see that you don't get that feeling. But then there's specific ones that you're like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, sure. Are we just talking about like an instant?
I think there's
across
both.
the room?
I think there's both, but I think the most desirable in my mind is that like just look across the room or like that random interaction occurrence that just like hits, you know. Those are few and far between.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which means that
Right, which it seems like it should be significant.
it's hard to argue that it's a trauma response.
Right,
mean,
no,
if
I
you
know.
have that many
Yeah,
conversations
for
with
sure.
different people for your trauma
Right.
not to
I agree.
occur at any moment.
I agree. I hate the trauma response
Yeah, it doesn't make it
theory.
To me, it's all relationships stuff, even friendships.
Oh, for sure, same.
It's like you and I think
Yeah.
it was like 2 conversations.
Right, you know, like I think whatever the reason being, like you know within a short period of interaction that it's like, oh yeah, this person is cool, we're gonna be friends, or like, I don't really like this person. There's a lot of middle. I think there's a lot of middle where it's like, I could be friends with this person, I could not be friends with this person, I can date this person, I can not date this person, and maybe those things build into something, or they fall off. But there's, for sure, right, but I'm saying, but like the ones that just like, I mean, yeah, right, you know, there's definitely that feeling, you know, like, whatever it is, like, oh yeah, their energy's the same, or their sense of humor's the same, or their whatever, like, they're gonna get me and how fucked up I am. Or feeling comfortable that you can be your true self. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it's like, I can say,
That's 100% what it is.
Right.
Like, if you get that immediate feeling that this person isn't judgmental to you,
But what
because
is
they
that,
have
though?
that same.
but if it's so fast, if it's so quick and early
great
on,
question.
what is it specifically just an energy? Like, what is it that makes you feel comfortable
Ease
enough?
really quick.
Because it is subconscious. Like, it's a subconscious feeling of like, I'm comfortable enough to be, I know I can say some off the wall shit or act dumb.
I mean, in a way, making a joke is a level of vulnerability.
For sure.
Putting out something that you find humorous that the other person,
Right.
at the heart of most jokes, may find offensive.
Right. But there are times where I would say that, at least for me, there's times where like, I don't even get to the point of testing said joke because I feel like that person. Right, that's what I'm saying. Whereas there's somebody like, oh, I could probably say this around that person and say
So
it.
it is an
And
energy.
that's what I'm saying. And then they are like, ha ha, and then you're like, oh yeah, we're cool. You emit a certain frequency if you want to because of who you are. And so like, I mean, just like anything, like certain frequencies are going to attract a certain frequency.
There's certain people who are HSPs, like high-sensitive people who
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
really pick up
Feel
on
that,
too.
yeah.
So then I would assume that some of it too is those people have an easier identifying factor, so they can walk in the door and be like, oh, they're having a terrible day.
Right,
Someone
for
walks
sure.
in the door and they're
Yeah.
like, they got a weird energy to them.
I think it goes the opposite way too, I would say, because there's people in my life that I've come across and I'm like, I don't want anything to do with that person. Don't even know him, never met him, you know. And 99% of the time I've been accurate on those in my lifetime. And those are just as few and far between. It's like everybody I come across, I'm like, not you, you're either yes or no. Most are in the middle, but you have the small batch here and the small batch here,
Yeah.
you know. Oh god, I've shit myself every single form of that.
I know. So you're meeting people and you're meeting that click, that energy, that feel.
Yeah.
Is that at the peak of your hierarchy of what you want in a relationship? Or you have to have that immediate, this clicks?
For me, I feel like it is. I've had, over the years, I mean, even since Leslie, I remember the first time me and Leslie started hanging out, like, I was like, oh, this is good, this is good, this is good, this is good, cool, it's good to hang out. And then, like, there's no, I call it the X Factor back then. I was like, there's no X Factor. I just don't feel that, like, yeah. And then it ended, and then we came back around, and obviously it didn't work. Like, I tried to push past it and say, oh, it'll build into it. And I mean, we had a good connection, but at the same time, there was never that, like, really
that
deep,
tether.
like, yeah. So because of those situations, you know, I hold strong to the idea of, like, you should feel.
And then also, I guess that the degree of that click matters too. Like if you have that, or if it's so maybe that one where you're like,
Yeah. But then there's also the idea of, like, you have to be, I feel like you have to be practical too. Like if you have that initial, like, you know, connection, but your lifestyles are completely opposite, it's hard to accept and continue forward with that, knowing that it's going to be, yeah.
where do you want to go? You put the instant connection at the top of the list.
I'd say connection in general is top of the list. I don't know if there's a specific order. I don't know if I have an order. But like sense of humor, like you gotta be sarcastic, or there's a sarcasm. Because I'm
Like
a
a
smart
word
guy.
list. Yeah.
Right. One that I learned over my past relationships I never knew is the ability to debate without holding to it.
Yeah.
Because I like to debate, and I don't ever expect to change anybody's mind.
I'll take the opposite side just for fun.
Yeah, right, exactly, same. And but like I've had issues where I've like wanted to talk about something and we disagreed, and I'm gonna give a back and forth, and it becomes butthurt immediately. Like, oh my god, you're mad at me type thing, and that's, you know, it's not the case at all.
Sarcasm for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Active.
Active.
Yeah.
gym, hiking, life, doing things.
Open to things like
Yeah, but
growth.
just self growth in general. Like, you gotta be always. I think that goes back to like gym mindset too. Like just constantly wanting to improve, but not improve because you don't think you're good enough, but just improve because you want to improve. Here's the bumper sticker quote: "Don't improve because you think you're not good enough. Improve because you think you are good enough."
Quote Bill Cosby.
This tastes funny, Bill Cosby.
Think about how many things have to line up just for a friendship to work, a relationship to work. It is such a broad piece of things of what you have to be willing to do, accept, and line up with. Like, think how many people you engage with on a daily basis. You're like, that's a nice person.
Right.
But
But there's
you don't wanna go
nothing
hang out
there,
at their
right?
house.
Yeah. My best pickup line.
What do you think is the biggest lesson you've learned in failed relationships to this point?
I feel like I'm gonna open up a scroll.
Well, the first mistake is you're keeping all your notes on the scroll.
It's like each one you take
kind
away
of build
something.
something. Yeah.
The spark matters
Yeah.
first. Like
Yeah.
everyone that's actually been like in a meaningful relationship
was.
actually took something away from. Like the ones that didn't really
Yeah.
the thing that I learned is there has to be action.
But I feel like sometimes it's almost like you learn one at one thing, and then you try to apply that to the next one, and then you realize that's not the important factor. You know what I'm saying?
Not that person.
Or not that in that equation.
I think same like how what you said earlier. One is not trying to build into something like oh this thing will happen when this happens. Like I'm waiting for this
Like
thing
living
to
off the
occur.
potential.
Yeah, don't live off the potential. Like
Yeah.
if it's there, it's there. So kind of not like that. Oh, I just hope this one thing changes and then
Right.
everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Versus just focusing on yourself, growing
Yeah.
yourself. This is the only thing I can control. And if that doesn't happen, then
But if that doesn't happen, this is still good.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. Like, and yeah.
then patience, not trying to feel like I'm searching for something. Like getting married, it was like,
Oh,
alright,
a certain
fine.
time frame
This
or
thing,
whatever,
I'm
yeah.
at this age, I need to do this, this, and this. But just letting the natural flow of life happen.
Yeah.
For some, it was like you were saying earlier, like the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Sometimes the grass is greener where you water it. Conflict is good. Like I used to think that, like if you're having disagreements or fights, and it's like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. There's always these little things, but looking at it as a method of construction versus destruction,
For sure,
that's
yeah.
huge for me. Because I always thought like, oh, you're having disagreements, that's not a good relationship.
Right.
You're not flowing together. It's
Right.
not cohesive. But actually, that it's voicing more of your needs versus
Right.
saying.
And then being open to that, like, I think if you accept that conflict's okay, then you can be open to conflict, and then open to it, you receive, even if you're butting heads, you receive that, so that you can improve upon that, or grow in a new path together, or whatever.
The ability to bend and not break, like
Right.
find where your bend is, and also know where
Right.
the tree only bends this far.
Right.
Dude, like because in some regard, you feel like every failed relationship was a waste of time. You're like, I wasted my time. I could have been doing something different,
Right.
better. But like, for me, shifting my mindset to each one is a learning
Yeah.
experience, and each one, like, you take away a little key
Right.
that you can apply.
Yeah, for sure.
Different helps.
Oh yeah.
But then the other side of it too is everybody changes in all moments. Everything.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna constantly evolve.
But in the same regard, though, like you and I have changed so much over the years, but
Yeah.
like outside of us getting into relationships, we've
Right.
always
For sure.
like we both.
Yeah, I mean, time is went like this, but you
Mhm.
still, I think because more so than anything, I think the pillars are always steady.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Your core
our
tendencies,
goals, senses of humor, interests, grand scheme, and even values
values for
are
sure.
pretty similar. So it's like even if we've had moments where life has come or we had disagreements on things or whatever, we still always come back because we can still always laugh and joke. It seems to be
Maybe that's it. Maybe that is
We
the, like outside of the
solved
spark.
equation.
I think you did. I think
We're
outside.
supposed to be gay.
all the- I feel like that might be the pinnacle. Like, okay, there's that
You have your
instant attraction,
pillars.
but it's laughter and connection, I think, might be the closest one.
The friendships that have lasted the longest in my life literally are the most cynical. Like, you know, but again, we also have the same values. Like, it's
Yeah.
people that don't drink constantly, don't care about partying. They, even though I don't necessarily want kids, like it's family oriented. I would say I'm family oriented. Improvement, self-improvement constantly in evolution. all of those people choose to have. And again, the same thing, like life always has taken us apart, but we could literally, like you, Paulvane Bitter, a couple other people, like I could literally see them today for the first time in a year, and it would be like we just hung out. Like it wouldn't, I don't think anything would change. You know, we'd probably talk a little more because we have things to catch up on, but nonetheless, like we'd also make fun of something.
Maybe it's, the sense of humor goes to just not taking life too seriously.
Right.
Like anybody that's so
But that comes
set.
right. But then you could even take that to like the sense of humor of that sense. Well, basically, the sense of humor, our sense of humor isn't hateful. It's not taking things too seriously. So then that kind of comes down to like your value of life. Like your values are to not take things too seriously. I mean, you look at our business, like the same thing. Like we've never. I think that's one of the reasons we're successful is because we've never taken it too seriously. Like obviously it's serious.
Yeah, there's moments where
we're
it happens.
right.
Like, for the
but,
most part,
but we're not
it's
like
fun.
making everybody wear button ups and like be rigid and you have to do this sales pitch and you have to, you know.
That's what I've definitely discovered too. Is along with that one life, it's not some level of fun through all of the shit. Like
Right.
you're gonna have a really tough life. But we all have to go through the stuff we don't want to do. But
Right.
if you have that thread of it'll be okay. Like I
Yeah.
just got to do this.
Right. Yeah. You just got shitty times. But in the grand
But even
scheme,
then,
is
like-
that for something of grander growth? Yeah.
What would you say you've grown the most on relationships?
Like being in terms of what I can do or be or
Yeah, what you can, what you want and what you can provide now.
yeah. I'm not great, but I'm a lot better with communication. Both giving and receiving. Obviously I'm a non-conflict type person. So if I have issues I just shove it away and deal with it. And that
Personally? Personally,
yeah. Like I just kind of like accept it and move around it or whatever.
I was like confusing stoicism with avoidance.
For sure.
As a death
Same.
trap. Because you think you're doing a better job by being
Right.
strong and this doesn't bother me, but really you're just alienating everyone to
Yeah.
what it is.
And it eventually boils over.
Sense of humor in relation to your viewpoint of life.
So I think all
I
that
think
comes
that maybe that's how every single interaction with any person who's a possible date should just start off right out the gate.
I think that comes with it. Energetic as well. Because like there's people that probably I've come with, well not even that, I'm saying like the energy of that sense of humor and those goals in life. Like you can have people that talk and talk, but you still don't, you know like, is that truly you? You know what I'm saying? Like a sense of humor could be like over the top, off the wall, or whatever, or real cynical. But that's for that person, it's more of like
something else.
exactly. And you can tell it's not genuine, or it's hatred. You know what I'm saying? Like there's
Yeah.
two people, there's two people that
Actually
will make
hate.
those jokes because they actually dislike that thing that
You
is being
feel
joked
that
at.
too, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's that energy of like, oh, this person's just funny and thinks that shit off the wall, Like we say some off the wall shit, but like rarely do we ever mean it. It's more of just to get a
Just to
rise.
get a laugh.
For us, still compassion for anyone. Like, I say I have compassion for
that's on
everyone.
the line too, though. Is having compassion and caring about others.
Right.
probably on that list too.
But I can also joke about all of those things. Like all of them. You know, any type of person I can joke and make fun of that would be not PC. But I still have passion for all of them.
So I feel like if you're looking at all the other little pieces of like
Yeah.
love languages and attachment styles and everything,
It's all bullshit.
we write our own book and then it goes, laugh, bitch.
Yeah. Oh, that's just nonsense. I mean, it makes sense, like it's there, but it's still nonsense.
But think about how many times you're laughing, like you're genuinely just having a good time. You'll be like,
Right. Well, that's the thing.
there's your touch.
Right. And you should have all 5 love languages.
Right. And I'll bring in a joke. I'll bring you in like a,
I mean, you should be able to give and receive all of the love languages.
yeah.
And how many, and here's the other side of that though. How many people who their love language is touch meet people that love language is touch and they don't connect?
For sure.
Right? Like it doesn't matter.
100%.
It means nothing.
You're dead on. It matters in the sense that you need them all.
Yeah, for sure. I
Say
think
you're really these two things and it
Yeah.
matters to you. But if you're not enjoying being around that person, what the hell does it matter?
and if you can't give or receive love in the other ways, then there's something that's not right.
Right.
Like you're hurt in
Shit,
some way.
too. Like, say you get a shit ton of whatever two matters to you.
Yeah.
And it's like, why don't you bring me a cupcake?
I want a damn cupcake.
For like hugging the shit out of them, telling them they're wonderful.
Yeah. Where's my cupcake? Listen here, man. You don't need any cupcakes.
Everybody wants that one thing that they're missing, and they think that, well, not everybody,
but
like, if this one person provides this one thing, everything in life is
Yeah.
different, where you're just moving from one to the next. You're trading one thing that you don't like about somebody for the next thing you don't like about somebody.
Right.
That
It's
choosing
non-transaction.
Yeah.
Like if you really think about it, if you look back at friendships, which is, I guess you could argue the friendships are different, but I don't think they are. But like, if you are around somebody because you expect them to provide something for you, the moment they don't, there's no, you know what I'm saying? Whereas like in a good friendship, like you're literally, I just enjoy the connection or energy or communication
I
or whatever.
legitimately could not tell you whether you wish me a happy birthday or not, because I did not give a fuck if you did or not.
Right, no shit. I don't care either. And like I don't ever, like somebody said yesterday, what'd you get Brad for Christmas? I said, nothing, because we're men.
I would have been upset if you got me something.
But for real, like I mean, if you got me a present, I'm not gonna be mad about it. I'm gonna probably make fun of you.
Depends on what it was.
Yeah.
I'd be mad.
But nonetheless, like, I also don't expect you to ever give me anything in that context. It's just literally like,
No, there's no transaction needed. It's pure. Damn, that's heavy too. Is it just pure?
it is. There is no transaction.
Wow.
There's a problem.
Wow. People not loving themselves equates to the own self-destruction of relationships because they're
Oh,
not
for
comfortable.
sure, yeah. Biggest bullshit sell ever is that you complete me nonsense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like two people coming together, you complete me, you make me whole. Because at some point you're gonna fuck up,
Yeah, oh yeah.
you know? And then that person's not whole anymore and now it's your fault. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, push, 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 push.